Although I am here to talk a little bit about software development and product development and stuff like that, I really want to talk to you about maps. Can I talk to you about maps? And my goal today, if you allow me the honor, is to try to insert a little bit of map making into your worldview. Just a bit, maybe not too much, to be too disruptive. Because here's the point, and I'll just give it away. I'm a map maker, you're a map maker. Most of you don't make maps kind of like that, but you are in fact making maps, and will bring you a perspective that might radically change your worldview. All right, so it might be healthy just to start in the very beginning. I want to introduce you a word. Some of you might be familiar with it. It's the word cartography. Cartography, cartographer, and that's a fancy way of saying map making, because I'm on stage and I kind of want to sound intelligent. So I'm going to use the word cartographer. It's just a fancy way of saying map making, but in and of itself, it has an essence that I think really speaks highly of this craft. It's the art, the science, and the practice of map making. It's this idea that you can realistically create and depict reality in a way that is modeled effectively. In other words, we can take reality and model it with data in an effectual way. Right? We use maps all the time. But we know that maps aren't just related to geography. They're topographic, they're financial, right? We see these things on Twitter and Facebook all the time. Infographics, who's familiar with infographics, right? It's essentially design paired with data in an attractive way where it gets retweeted and Facebook status update like no other. But that's essentially map. And so what I want to propose is, in our context, in our culture, we are cartographers. We are social technologists, right? Because anything that relates to the modeling of data is in fact cartographic in nature. Anything that we can, any relationship that we have is cartographic by nature. Fascinating stuff. The question or the challenge is, can it be trusted? Right? Now, we're all probably blind to this because we use it every single day. But what if that was wrong? What if that map was wrong? What if, as you Googled or you registered for today, and Google spit out that, and it was actually in the middle of Ainsley Park? It'd say, you wouldn't be here today, right? So can the maps that we use be trusted? Not just geographic, but the maps that we develop as organizations and individuals. How much power do we give to the tools that we leverage? So the point here is that tools impact our decision-making every single day as social technologists. They impact our outcomes. They change our perspective of the world. So what I'd love for it to do is to show you perhaps how powerful perspective truly is, and take an everyday object, like a chair. Sir, can you give me that chair right there? In fact, you look strong. I only push keyboards and keys, so this is great. I wouldn't have been able to make it. Contemporary. No, I'm just kidding. So this is where we have a little interaction. What is this? A chair. It's one of those things, like, it's one of those obvious answers, like, I don't want to be that guy. Right, it's a chair. What is it? It's a table. No, it's a table, right? Bear with me. It's a table. What if I don't know. What if I stand on it? Stool. A ladder, right? What if I put it up against the door? What does it become? A doorstop. Right. And what if I picked it up and threw it at the gentleman that gave it to me? Hey, you can take it back, by the way. What is it? It's a weapon. Or even more, it's an act of violence. It's chair is only a chair in terms of its use. All right? It's no longer a chair in different contexts. That's the power of perspective. One crazy example for me, everyone's actually familiar with this. This is a picture from Esther Havens, our speaker this morning. Esther is a good friend, but Esther Havens and many of the speakers, like Simon as well, are cartographers. They're effective technologists, social innovators. Because what Esther did, and what Esther learned on her trip to India, where she decided, this is what I want to do with my life. I want to capture people's stories, I want to share them, and I want to move people from apathy into giving. She did that with me. She brought home a picture like this, a story, John Bosco, and she explained what it was all about. Charity Wander, and how the organization gives, and how they track the spending, and how it's authentic and it's real. You know where your money's going, and it's impacting real people. And I was sold. I was sold. If you had asked me 3-4 years ago, I would not be considered charitable by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just not a person that trusts that my money is going in the right location, or it's really getting there, if you know what I mean. But she changed all that. She changed my worldview. She changed my perspective. In 2008, on one of my blogs, I started a campaign to raise $5,000 in 60 days with people that I had never met. We did it, and we built a water well because Esther taught me how. And the neat thing is, a good cartographer teaches others to do the same. And with all the donors that I taught with this different worldview, we created a water well in Africa. Crazy, man. It moved me from, I'm not into charity. That's just not my thing. And I think that's cool. To, I can do no other. I have to do something. I have to respond to something like this. And good social technologists, good social innovators, they leverage the tools to move people to positive action. Incredible. And I think that's the beauty. I think that's the beauty when the two are married well, when you strategically well and wise use technology, you create amazing, compelling, memorable stories. Amazing, compelling stories. Because great cartographers are social technologists. They understand. And if there's one kind of nugget, one phrase that I've been just really thinking about for a long time, it's this. That technology is only as good as your ability to use it well and wisely for the betterment of your brothers and sisters. Technology is only as good as your ability to use it well and wisely. Google is nothing unless you use it well, unless it spits back the right information. Esther Havens' Canon DSLR, she got me one. You've probably been watching me point and click that thing. I don't know what I'm doing, but she helped me. At least she got me in the right direction. But a Canon DSLR is nothing unless the artist masters it, uses it well, uses it wisely, to capture stories, to bring them home, to have them be able to be interpreted and move people to spend money. Incredible. Incredible. So the question is, of course, are you a good cartographer?